A very good evening. On behalf of India FinTech Forum, I am Vishal, and today we have with us Mr. Idul Patel, CEO and co-founder of Mudrex. Mr. Idul Patel is an IIT Bombay alumnus, post which he joined Deutsche Bank as a senior business analyst. After 2 years of working, he co-founded Nifla, post which he moved on to become a product head at Tebzo. On 2018, he co-founded Mudrex, which is an algo-based trading platform. Hello, sir. Welcome to our FinTech Leadership Series.
Hey Vishal, thanks a lot for having me here.
Thank you. So we'll start the questions. Mudrex
Sure.
is an algo-based trading platform, which is quite interesting and unique. So would you like to share with our audience how your product works?
Absolutely. So Vishal, like just to tell you a bit more, what I would want to do is I was also want to give you a bit of the background of the company as to how did we get here, right? So way back in 2017, me and my friends were actively doing trading in cryptocurrencies, right? And while doing a lot of that trading in cryptocurrencies, we realized that there were already quite a few exchanges that existed from which you could buy and sell crypto. That was not a problem at all, right? But what was a problem is that if you wanted to trade cryptocurrency actively, it was a massive manual overhead. And it was very emotionally straining simply because crypto is very volatile. It's 24/7. There are hundreds of exchanges, thousands of markets, and so on and so forth, right? So as a result of that, we felt that the problem as crypto grows is that and as more and more people come in and start doing trading, they would feel overwhelmed with this ability or this requirement to do all of this manually. So he said that the only way to solve this is to actually build out an investing layer, and the only way that investing layer can work at scale is that if it's algorithmic and if it's automated and so on and so forth, right? So that was like the genesis of the idea. So today at Mudrex, we are building the investing layer for crypto. And when I say building the investing layer for crypto, let's assume that in the equities world, the investing layer is essentially mutual funds, index funds, या फिर in the non-crypto world, like putting your money in an FD, right? That's where people invest today. So that's the investing layer. In crypto, this layer does not exist. So we are effectively building algorithmic funds, which are like mutual funds for crypto. We are building ETFs for crypto by creating custom baskets of crypto tokens. We are creating like a savings account or a very low yield, close to zero risk product for crypto, which is like your own crypto savings account and so on and so forth. So at Mudrex, what we are trying to do is we are building this investing layer in a completely automated way that works at scale.
So following up to this question, so how is the customer onboarding process like? So how are you able to manage it to become it seamless?
Exactly. So I think this is a big challenge, Vishal. What is happening today is that, so firstly, to clarify, Mudrex is like a global product. So we've got users coming in from 90 different countries and investing across the various algos that we have and across the various investment products that we have on the platform. And on the platform, what we see today is that we've been focused on getting users who are already into crypto first, right? And for them, the onboarding is that they need to connect their exchange with Mudrex and then use that exchange via Mudrex to do all the order execution. Just like how you would in like the mutual fund you would connect your Demat account with your mutual fund provider, right? Very similarly, in the Mudrex ecosystem, you would connect your exchange API key with us and let us trade. Having said that, that's very challenging from an onboarding process perspective, right? So we are now simplifying that layer where we build like a crypto on ramp so that people can purchase, buy and sell, purchase and sell BTC and ETH directly from Mudrex as well, deposit using our own broker kind of an account as well, and of course then invest on various platforms. And yeah, I think another part to mention in the onboarding process is that on Mudrex as such, because you are working directly with your current exchange, you as such don't need to do any separate KYC, which is also a great boon, and the onboarding becomes much faster. And we've focused a lot on building a very mobile friendly website and making sure that it's available on mobile as well. So that also improves the entire onboarding experience as such for us, Vishal.
That's great. Your company started in 2018, and post which it has grown quite rapidly. So what, according to you, helped Mudrex grow to over 20,000 users who have now traded over $500 million?
Yeah, well, firstly, both those numbers have increased now. We've traded over $1 billion.
Okay.
And it's over 25,000 users. but yeah, the fact is that I think two things have helped us phenomenally, right? One part is that for the first 2 3 years and even today, like we've always had relentless focus on the user, right? So always trying to build out products and tools and features that users want. And as a result of that, once users see that we've provided something that they want, they tell their friends about it. And those friends tell their friends about it. So we completely got all the users that we got till date only via word of mouth and via referral, right? Like there is literally no other channel for us because we don't do active marketing, we don't spend money on acquisition of users. So I think one part is that relentless focus on the user and making sure that the user's problems are actually solved and the product is unique in itself that way. I think that part has been very, very valuable. And having said that, there is like a bit of it is also because of the recent hype that's been in crypto, right? Because everyone wants to get into crypto, and what we are trying to build is fairly unique. And as a result of that, people discover us across our various platforms where we've built out a lot of content and then eventually come in and join Mudrex.
So talking about 2018 again, so back then Reserve Bank of India had barred banks and financial institutions from dealing in cryptocurrencies. And back then Mudrex was also starting up. So could you please elaborate the situation that you faced that time?
Oh, absolutely. To be honest, the word Mudrex comes from Mudra exchange, which literally means cryptocurrency exchange or token exchange for that matter.
Mhm.
And the reason why we chose that name was because we were originally building a crypto exchange for India. We were building the Coinbase for India. That was the idea, right? We started working on it in January. Like the four founders came together. We started working on it. We built out our app. We built out our mobile website. By March, we got our first 100 alpha users and started, playing around with it. In April first week, we closed our seed funding, and we were going to launch our beta product, which is our mobile app and our website, on the 15th of April 2018. Literally 1 week before that, on the 6th or 8th of April 2018, the central bank in India banned the cryptocurrency trading platform. Right? Like say, so overnight, literally our entire market went away. And because there was no retail, like what would we build the product for, right? Like that was a question that started to come up in our minds, right? And as a result, what we thought was that, see, if there are not going to be clear regulations, if there's not going to be like a clear direction towards the industry in the country, we would rather not build out and focus on India as being our main market. Still continue to focus on crypto. And because crypto is global and because there are users from all over the world, we could build out a world-class product for the world first and then iterate and improve and customize it for India later. That was the thought process. And I think that's the thought process that we've stuck with. We've today truly created a very unique product that users from the world over appreciate. And now we are specifying it and customizing it for India and launching India specific products.
So following up to the same question again, you have already mentioned that you have changed your strategy for being a world-class product. So what is your current target market now? Like which country are you specifically focusing upon or something
Yeah, so
upon
we,
that?
we actually we actually get users from, as I said, 90 different countries. US and Europe are our largest markets. About 30 odd percent of our users come from US, another 30 odd coming from Europe. And we are actually targeting, and like the territory that we are looking to grow is fastest pace is actually Southeast Asia. We are seeing a lot of inflow of users coming in from Southeast Asia. We are doubling down on Southeast Asia as a geography. We are also looking at Europe as a geography and getting specific licenses and so on and so forth over there and scaling that up.
This also brings me to the next question about Southeast Asia, that with over 10,000 crore worth of holding in cryptocurrency in India itself, we are
Yes.
starting to see it as an alternate asset class. So
Yes.
what is your short-term and long-term outlook?
Yeah, I think this is absolutely true. In fact, I've had numerous conversations with my friends and friends of my friends and family members, and trying to help them how do they allocate their portion of their personal wealth in crypto, right? So I definitely see this as like a growing massive asset class, and like another way in which we can get towards financial inclusion and start providing users at least a path towards financial independence over the longer run, right? So I definitely see this adoption only growing and rapidly scaling up. And a lot of that growth and scale up will happen because of a lot of the other companies partnering up with products like Mudrex and scaling that up. So I definitely see that scaling.
But with this growth, we are also seeing a numerous cryptocurrencies available in the market, right? So what is your advice to new investor to deal with the plethora of cryptocurrency choices that we have right now?
Yeah, well, I think my first general advice, as always, is don't put in any money that you cannot afford to lose, because although that's like a overstretch, but it's like a cautionary filter statement at the start, because at the end of the day, crypto is still fairly volatile, right? Like it's not reached its stability levels yet, and it's still an asset class that's going to mature. Right? My bet is that it will grow into the world's largest asset class over the next 20 years. But 20 years is a very long time frame. We'll see dips and movements along that line. So with that caveat in mind, I would typically recommend putting anywhere from 5 to 10% of your asset, your overall asset base into crypto. Of that, predominantly focusing on tokens that are large in value and have been growing since a very long time, so BTC, ETH. And then of course keep like a small amount of your money on the fun side of it, right? Where you would want to invest in tokens where you want to see where there is high volatility and you want to see large growth. And over there you would also invest just for the fun of it, right? Like a lot of people invest in a lot of meme coins and a lot of meme stocks just for that part. But over there, the understanding always is that you're okay even if it goes to zero.
Okay, so this brings me to the next question about the underlying technology blockchain.
Yes.
So can India be an innovation hub for blockchain, or do you think that we have already missed the bus?
No, absolutely. I think it's just starting up, right? Like people have just started to discover newer and newer use cases of blockchain, and I think one of the most valuable use cases is to start providing value to intangible assets, right? Like today we've got assets like equity, stock, and gold, and so on and so forth that have value, but intangible assets like art, like patents, like job records, and like historical documents, and so on and so forth don't have any tangible value. And the entire point of blockchain is that it helps you suddenly bring value to digital products over the internet, right? So I think we're very, very early in the phase of adoption of crypto and blockchain both. And as time progresses, we'll see more and more and more of this innovation come out, right? So it's by no means that we've missed the bus. Having said that, if we don't act today, we will miss the bus in the next 5 years. And in order to be able to adapt to that, we need better regulations. We need like a cohesive movement across the board. And of course, we need to be able to understand that the technology from the asset are two very different things. And you should support the technology, you should support the asset, and make sure that illicit activities are not supported. That's the job of the regulators to figure out.
However, we are seeing a lot of innovation in the brokerage business space. So coming to my question, what is your long-term strategy to grow in the brokerage-based business space?
That's great, right? So Vishal, going back, as I said, we started off with a vision of opening up or building the investing layer for crypto, and having the brokerage part, and as such, historically, what all brokers have actually done is help people invest better in their different asset classes. Ideally, just by providing shares as a way to invest. At Mudrex, we see three things differently. We see that the brokerage layer is actually just the onboarding layer to get people into crypto. And then there is the entire other suite of products that we are building to help people invest better in crypto. And I think that's where we are doubling down on. So we are creating these algos, which are effectively funds in crypto. We are creating indexes, which are effectively crypto token baskets that you can invest in based on certain themes. We are working on creating custom portfolios created by some of the best traders in the world so that they can share their own portfolios on Mudrex, and so on and so forth. Right? So the idea is to provide these different investment product suites across different risk reward profiles so that we can help users take better investing decisions.
Okay, coming to my next question, what are your key learnings in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, I think multiple, Vishal. So, I think the first learning, and this is often repeated a lot of times by a lot of folks, but very less appreciated. It is always listen to your users, right? Numerous times we've ended up doing things that our users did not tell us to do and were wrong hypotheses actually about what the problems were. And eventually that ended up being scrapped, and that ended up taking a lot of time and wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort. So definitely listen to users is rule number one, right? The second rule that I've realized over time is that actually persistence, patience, and hard work trumps everything else. Right? It doesn't matter how good your idea is. It doesn't matter how how seamless or how futuristic whatever you're thinking it is. But if you don't execute well, and if you don't do that patiently, and you don't continue to do it persistently and by putting in a lot of effort, you'll never get to success, right? So that's the other second thing or second learning that I've had, right? And I think the third learning that's also very core and central to how we are building Mudrex is that your team is as important as the idea is, right? So we focus a lot on building out a high quality team. We focus a lot on making sure our culture is gelling. We focus a lot on making sure that everyone in the team understands the vision and the goal of and the problem that we are trying to solve, and how we are trying to solve it. Because without that, we will always have some kind of a mismatch between what our users expect and what we are delivering. And that mismatch is what we want to minimize, right? So focusing on team and culture and communication is like the third important part that I've learned over time.
So this brings me to the last question. What would be your advice to the new entrepreneurs who are starting out their journey in the cryptocurrency space?
Yes. So I would always suggest start small. Start thinking about first the problem that you are facing and focus on solving that. Then find out people like you who are facing the similar problem and reach out to them and try and see if your solution helps solve their problems. And then step by step, continue to expand and advance the kind of users that you're reaching out to and understand their problems accordingly and solve for them accordingly as time progresses. I think starting with the other way around, with a hypothesis and then figuring out a way to solve, starting with a problem and not the market typically ends up people wasting time, energy, and effort. And eventually lots of pivots happen along the way. So focus on the market and their requirements first and build a product accordingly so that you can reach product market fit faster. And the second thing that I would always tell people, at least for a crypto specific purpose, is think global. Like crypto is the world's first truly global asset class, right? So you should think global because the problems that you have are probably also faced by some random dude sitting in Azerbaijan trying to trade crypto. So think global first and try and focus on the user.
Okay, so that should be all. Thank you for being with us. Have a great week ahead.
Same here.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having this conversation.